Lawn mowing is a skill. I don't care what you say. Some of you are going to critique me on this and tell me that no, it's just a mindless task, but it's far, far from it. Being able to look at a lawn and determine the cutting pattern because you got to avoid compaction is a skill that comes only with experience. Being able to go out to a site and critique a lawn and instantly say, we need to cut this a half or a quarter of an inch higher to avoid burning because we think with the possible weather forecast that this lawn will brown out. That only comes with experience. You have to give yourself credit. Now we're on a site in Mendota Heights, Minnesota, mowing the lawn, and this is a thinner lawn. So in this case, we're gonna wanna cut it a little bit higher. We're gonna wanna leave it a little bit thicker and fuller if at all possible, so that the lawn doesn't brown out. Now we have some really premium weather right now. A lot of rain, which is not good for mowing, but it's great for getting the grass to grow, and we're gonna take advantage of that. And so that's what we're gonna talk about today, is what we do on every single job. We send guys out there to determine the absolute best course of action. And I also wanna touch base with you on not only how you mow and what you look at when you mow, but how you market yourself as a lawn mowing company, as a lawn service company in general. But before we get into that, let's check out this site. A few of the details that we do on this job are always the same with every other project, and let's go over that. Now in this case, we're mowing, but look at, we have a deck. So what do we do with this deck? When we're done, we walk up onto the deck and we blow it off. We make sure that the deck is clean and clear. We go through all of the edging, make sure that we get all of that. This site does have something unique, is this rock bed. Now a lot of your sites are gonna have rock beds, but in this case, these rocks are, well, here you go, here's a great example. They love to get picked up and kicked out of the rock bed. And so every time we mow, we look for that. We actually walk the edge and look for the rocks, that the stragglers that kick out, and we pick them up and flip them back in. Two reasons: no broken windows, no dulled edge blades on our mowers, and it just leaves a cleaner look for the customer. So we go through, we just take a moment to do that. That may be a little bit more meticulous than what some of you guys do, because remember, we mow and we get paid for efficiency. That's not efficient, but I need you to understand the marketing that goes along with it. When you pay attention to detail, you are going to set yourself apart from the big box mowing companies. Okay? Here comes the 52. If you're 13, 14, or 15 years old and getting started, or if you're 30, 40, or 50 years old, it's the same. Let's get into this. Let's talk about how you're going to differentiate yourself from everyone else out there, because this is a cutthroat market. There's a lot of people, but there's one thing that will always, 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 always separate you from everyone else, and that's if you care about your work. If you care about their lawn, it's going to show. When it shows, they're going to do this. Your customers are going to be your best advertising. When you get word of mouth referrals, you know you're doing things right. Now, if you're starting out, your name is Jeff or Stan, use that to your advantage. Use that personal name, the personal recognition, the personal service that you can give them that they won't get from the big box office lawn maintenance companies. Imagine yourself, you've got to realize that the ability for them to reach out and contact you is important to many, many customers. It is the difference why they chose you in the first place. It may be price, but how you're going to keep them is that attention to detail and the interaction, the ability for them to know who you are. Now, if you're missing out on that, then you're missing out on the whole strength of your company. If you're a small organization and you don't know each and every one of your customers, that is your fault, and that is something you need to change, because that is a big advantage that you have over the True Green Lawn Cares and the gigantic properties that do maintenance for people that they're a number. Their customers are a number to them. But to you, to a Jeff and a Stan or a Don or whoever you are out there, your customer is a name, it's a lawn, it's specific cares. And when that customer understands that they're important to you, you become important to them. It goes back and forth. It's a huge advantage. And I want you to take advantage of all of your strengths. I want you to make sure that every tool that you have in your tool belt that you can use at your disposal, you pull out and you use. That's a card you need to gain. But as your company grows, you're going to have a fundamental shift, because you're not going to be able to give personal service to each and every customer like you can when you're small. And you're going to have to grow with that change. If you want to take your company from $100,000 a year to $500,000 a year, there's a difference. You're taking on a lot more work, which means you personally can't be out on every site. But that doesn't mean that you can't relay that feeling. That doesn't mean that you have to let that go. What you have to do at that point is you have to take that and ingrain it into your people so that they reach out, that they understand that it's okay to knock on the door, to shake a hand for the right people. But be careful. You don't want just anybody doing that. You want to have qualified personnel be the ones to speak to your customers, to be the face and the mouth of your company when you no longer can do it, and your company will grow. If you listen to me and you take the time to care about your jobs, that alone is going to separate you. That alone is going to get you to go to almost any level you want. But when you personally get separated from that fold, the people you bring in have to be able to take up that mantle. The people that you bring in have to understand that this is how you work, that it's not just a job that has to get done and done fast, but it has to be done right, and you have to communicate with the customer to make sure that everything goes according to their expectations and according to the company's time frame and budget. So here we are in Mendota Heights. Jake is busy getting all the edging done. Now, on this job, what we're doing is we're mowing the field first, and then we're going to go back and trim up all the edges, thanks to one of my YouTube followers' recommendations. We normally would do it the other way around, but because we're experimenting with efficiency and it came highly recommended that we do this first, we're going to give it a go today, and we're going to see how it goes. Now, you're going to see the Mustang in the background. I'm going out dropping flyers. I've got plenty of customers, but I want to saturate this neighborhood, so I'm going to go out and drop flyers while he's busy mowing. So I'm off to the races.